Good morning, lovely people, and it's lovely to see you all today. So we're starting today in Happy Days, Happy Monday, in lying down for a change. So do make your way down onto the mat. Just take a few moments to really make yourself comfortable here, stretching out each leg in turn. You can bend the knees here if you want to, if you feel any kind of pull on the lower back. But otherwise, just legs stretched out. And in lying down, you can allow your eyes to shut here. Just make sure you kind of keep a sense of alertness through the mind. And what I'd like you to do as you're lying down is just start to feel the contact of the earth beneath you. So maybe starting from the feet, the heels. Just note how the body's weight touches the earth. And slowly you can make your way up through the body. Just slowly working your way up through the trunk, the body, down the arms, the hands, and up across the shoulders, to the back of the skull. Now standing back a little bit in your mind, now really start to feel the body's weight as you're lying down. Just letting the earth receive the body's weight. And rather than feeling your mind has to do anything, just keep coming back to the sensation of contact with the earth, the feeling of it. So actually, you don't have to carry a single ounce of weight. The earth is doing that for you. And now notice the touch of your breath, the lightness of the breath. And how that infuses the mind with a very different quality, bringing space, lightness. Allowing yourself to feel this lightness because the weight of the body is being received by the earth. The last few breaths we spend here, just seeing how much you can keep letting go of the body's weight. And just noticing any feelings that follow as you do so. And then keep feeling that sensation of the earth receiving the body's weight. And we're drawing your right knee in towards your chest. Your left foot still stretched out. You can turn up the toes and flex them up on your left leg. And drawing right knee in. We're interlace fingers over the top of the leg, just resting them on the shin. And that weight of hands, the arms, on that right shin, we'll just draw that right knee a little bit deeper in towards the chest. Let gravity be your friend here, so rather than feeling you've got to pull the knee down, we're just letting gravity draw the knee inwards. Letting go, stretching out right leg, joining the left, and the left knee coming in. So once you've drawn it in, if you interlace your fingers the opposite way to which you were just doing, and then hands along the shin, and the knees drawn in. Letting go of the body's weight. And both knees now coming up into the chest and hugging the knees into the chest. If you then just rock from one side over to the other. So you really feel contact of the earth along the back of the spine. Hands coming to the tops of the knees, and your fingers are pointing forward away from the knees and towards the feet. And with your in-breath, you just stretch out your arms and you'll let your feet dangle down. And with an out-breath, you'll draw your knees back into the chest. And you're just going to move from one to the other. The in-breath, knees away. The out-breath, knees coming back in. And wherever your mind is being drawn here, if you now bring it back to the contact of the base of the spine with the earth. So you'll feel there as the knees move back and forth, really nice, gentle, massaging kind of sensation. As the base of the spine just rocks forwards and backwards as the knees move. You finish the round and then drop your feet down to the floor. Your feet arriving on the mat, as close up to your body, up to the perineum as you can there. And now feel the contact of the feet with the earth. And we bring our arms out to the sides into a T shape, palms facing up. Oh, I can get some thunder. So a few breaths here. And we're now going to just drop the knees over to the right hand side. Your gaze will stay neutral, looking up to start with. And your knees are going to just drop down. They may not reach here, that's all good. Wherever they want to arrive. Then take your skull over to the left hand side. So you're looking out now towards your left shoulder. Now keep letting go of the body's weight here. So wherever the body has arrived to, that really is your resting point. You don't need to move any further from that. Let your body be the guide here. Bring your knees up again to center line. Just pausing there, feel the weight of the feet, contact of feet with earth. And then knees coming over to the left hand side. They arrive wherever they arrive, and your gaze can come towards the right shoulder. Letting go of the body's weight again. Just notice there's any kind of clenching, tightening at all through shoulders, through thighs, through the face. Letting go of that. Now your left knee staying where it is, let's drop over to the right. And your right knee is coming now out to the right hand side, so you're in butterfly, lying down on your back. The soles of your feet come together. And again, just slowly letting gravity be your friend here. So you're relaxing down the body, you're allowing the body to relax towards the earth. You don't have to try and push it there. Just watching and noticing the sensation of weight earthing itself, the body earthing itself. Give yourself 2 to 3 more rounds of breath. And from here, either roll over to the right hand side, and then you can ease your way up to sitting. Otherwise, your knees will come together. You'll cross your knees, cross the legs, and then reaching down towards ankles, towards the outer edge of the feet. You can just lift up the feet a little bit, give you a little bit of momentum. Pelvis will lift a little bit, and then you'll rock up and into sitting. Arriving in sitting, knees are going to be bent here, so take your pelvis back a little bit if that's more comfortable, rather than drawing the knees too close in. That will just enable the spine to lift a little bit more. With an in-breath, take a big circle with your right arm, out and behind you. Then you're going to drop this right shoulder down. You can see there, mine was lifting. So now really drop that right shoulder down. And now you're twisting around from the left hand hip. So follow that line through the base of the body, around to the right. And then just feel contact through the body with the earth. Another breath. Come back to the center line, hugging the knees now with the right arm, and your left arm's lifting up and behind you. And again, before you come into the twist, just relax down that left shoulder, so you're balancing everything out. And then from the right hip, it's drawing around, over to the left-hand side, and that's taking you into twist. Come back to your center line, and now swinging your legs out behind you, and you're coming onto all fours. Now take a moment to really plant your hands down, fingers spread out, down underneath shoulders, so you feel really anchored. If you just tip your weight forward a little bit, so you feel your hands, you feel weight coming down to your hands. Then easing back to a neutral position, and feel the backs of the feet in contact with the floor. You do tend to clamp, of course, tuck your feet under at any point, so you're easing back to heels. Then, out breath, from the base of the belly, you're drawing up the base of the belly, keep drawing it up, and you'll notice how your sit bones start to tuck under. So keep lifting up through the base of the belly, as the sit bones tuck under, lovely. And then you can just accentuate perhaps a little bit more, drawing the head in. So you're looking back towards the thighs, towards the base of the belly. But take a couple more breaths in. Keep lifting up through your core, anchoring down through your hands, through your feet. And then keep lifting up through the base of the belly, but tilting your pelvis up towards ceiling. Keep drawing up through the belly. Though notice how the spine starts to lengthen. Lift up along through the spine and eventually out through the crown of the head. Now soften your gaze here, just notice how it changes everything. There's suddenly no pulling of the mind, no straining to kind of reach somewhere. So really keep your gaze soft and keep feeling the weight of the body from yourself. So from the belly, lift it up, keep lifting it up towards the back of the spine, and slowly that will tilt your pelvis so it starts to tuck under, the spine's curving, and then you can accentuate that curve, the gaze looking back towards the belly. Few breaths there. Keep rooting down through your hands, through feet, and then keeping that lift through your belly, but tilt your pelvis the opposite way and follow that line of opening, vertebrae to vertebrae, along the spine. Gaze soft, so your eyes aren't pulling the spine forward. We're just finding the space along the spine by this tilt of the pelvis. Do again, coming into the curve of the spine from the belly, drawing up. Keep the gaze soft. Keep earthing down into your hands. So working like this, hopefully, you're feeling that sense of how far you can really relax into these kind of positions, asanas, when the eyes aren't kind of pulling the body forward, the mind isn't pulling. Keep the gaze soft. Keep rooting down into the earth. Then into the opposite. Keep earth in your hands, tucking under toes. And then easing up and into down dog, knees bent to start with. So knees bent to start with just gives you a little bit of leverage here along the spine. You're drawing up into your sit bones. You can tilt them up, draw your belly inwards. And then really feeling the balls of the feet in contact with the floor. Your heels are going to be a little bit lifted here. Rooting down into the balls of the feet, and start to draw your heels downwards. It's like you're trying to plant them towards the earth. Like you're getting little flashes of lightning. I feel quite exciting at the corner of my eye. Another breath. Long deep breaths in, nourish your body, really nourish it with the breath. And coming back and onto all fours. Arriving on all fours, root down into your hands again, root down into your feet. And then you can either keep the hands where they are here, or else you can flip your hands around to the sides, your fingers are pointing out to the sides of the mat. And then we're coming into cat and cow again, the out breath, curving spine, in breath, lengthening out. And as you start to move a little bit, still keep this awareness though of the belly to the spine and the contact of body to the earth. And you're just finding your own gentle rhythm here to move into the body, to energize the spine. And in itself, this is such a complete practice. You really are working with each and every vertebrae here along the spine. You're working with your foundations. You probably feel the hands feeling quite active if you've got your hands flipped round. You're working with your core, opening up energy along the spine. It's guiding the mind, your mental attention into your breath. And as the mind then quietens a little bit, it kind of follows the flow of the breath. So then you can start to just feel then the body in contact with the earth, without actually feeling that you are doing this, as it were. It's already just happening, it just is. Another breath. And we'll flip the fingers forward again now. So then pointing forwards, do spread fingers wide. Check your hands are underneath your shoulders. And getting ready to lift up and into down dog again. The toes tucking under, knees back to your heels, knees bent, easing up into down dog. Again, lift up into your pelvis and rooting down into the ball of the left foot. You'll come up onto the right toe and then you'll bend your right knee up behind you. Now stretch out that right leg, really kick back into your heel, root down into your left heel, and slowly turn your gaze over and underneath your right armpit. So you're coming into a twist here, over to the right hand side. Now feel those 3 points of contact, your body to the earth. Another breath. And right foot coming down. Lift up into your down dog again, and then you're coming back down onto all fours. Now arriving on all fours, you're coming back to your heels, root down into the flats of the feet, and arms stretching out in front of you. And letting go of the body's weight again here, as you arrive into stillness, hands, forehead, belly, pelvis towards heels and feet. So you may notice as you are resting that the mind often tries to kind of conjure up a particular feeling that maybe in the past you've had a very restful time in child. And so often there's this kind of tendency, we want to then recreate it as if that's the authentic kind of experience we hope to. So whatever you are feeling, just letting that be, if you can. I know it's such a kind of strong habit we all have to try to do that. So I seem to have just lost the picture. I'm not quite sure what's happened. I'll just see if I can get it back up again. Here we are. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I hope you didn't notice that. Not sure that computer really likes trying to stop very much. So keep rooting downwards, another breath or so, and then coming back up and onto all fours again. Now, you can either turn the hands out to the sides again, or you may want to flip them the entire way round, fingers facing back towards you there. If you're doing it that way, do take your hands quite wide, like out to the edges of your mat. Just give yourself a few rounds here, into a cat and cow. You'll notice if you've got your hands flipped around, you can't actually move quite so much there. Keep breathing fully. And getting ready to come into down dog, toes tucking under. Turning the hands round again to the front of the mat. And then lifting up and into down dog. So you're arriving in down dog again. The knees are bent a little bit. Draw upwards, and then you're rooting down into your right foot, lifting up the left foot. The knee will lift out behind, you'll bend the knee for a moment, and then straightening out into that left leg. So feel yourself on these 3 points of balance here. Start to earth your right heel, and then you're rotating the spine into twist, looking out underneath the left shoulder. And your left foot can float down. Now looking forward when you're ready, Draw up into your sit bones. And then feet coming up towards the top of the mat, walking, jumping, stepping. And we're off to the spine, so whatever version you like to use. Spine, drawing forwards. Soften your gaze as you do so, so just make sure your eyes aren't pulling your body. Feel your feet. Just note how your feet are so instrumental here. Without the feet earthing themselves, you'd be on the floor. So really do earth your feet. Let the body's weight transfer down into the feet. And we fold into the forward fold. And so starting with the feet, feeling the body's weight transferring down legs, and holding you steady. And from that point of contact, that stability with the earth, and just letting the body be however you find it. So get a bit louder. And we're going to roll the spine up into standing. So start just coming up onto the fingertips with your hands on knees, or you can keep them there. If you've got your hands towards the floor, just slowly lifting them up. And from the base of the spine, one vertebrae to the next, start to stack your spine up and into standing. Very good. And so you're riding now up and into Tadasana. Now just taking your feet hips width apart from one another and lifting up the toes so you're balanced on the balls of the feet. Now stretch out your toes, really stretch from big toe out towards your little toe. And just feel the body in balance there, toes lifted. Now pulling in your belly towards the base of the spine, which is really just about, how to say, bringing awareness to your centre of gravity. Because you've got this physical centre of gravity somewhere in your pelvis. And that's a point really that you want to connect down to the earth. So it's not just floating literally in space somewhere up above the earth. So rooting down through the pelvis into the feet, toes are still lifted. Also set your emotional centre of gravity, so it's a way for any of this emotional currents, these flows of energy, which really are just flows of electricity through the body, to earth themselves. A bit like with all this thunder kind of going on, it'd be quite easy to kind of, at any point, really lose those. The emotions start to pull one here, there, everywhere. Keep that emotional centre of gravity working down legs into feet. Dropping your toes down. So now you really are fully earth on the surface where you're standing. And just noting this body, this architecture of flesh and bones, skeleton. Just noticing it in balance, upright. That in itself is a bit of a minor miracle, really. If you think from the swamp or wherever you came from, to actually be able to crawl out of that from the belly up onto all fours, to get upright onto two legs. This is in itself, in evolutionary terms, a minor achievement, well, major achievement, miracle, really. Bringing you to this space right now, in time, in this framework of life. And eyes shutting, and a few rounds of breath. Letting the earth receive your weight. And just noting the body standing. Note how the mind may want to interpret this, but coming back to the raw sensation of contact with earth. Something that just is. that you're just feeling. Bring minds to it. Hands lying at the heart. I always like to just give that light touch of gratitude. It is really a miracle that the body kind of stands up each day and our feet kind of take us forward. So many steps through the day. But just setting that intention, just note how the body responds, whatever intention of gratitude, positivity, care, nurture you want to give to yourself. Just notice how that sets the feeling tone within the body. And your awareness lifting up through the feet, from earth, through the body, into the positioning of the skull and the space above you. And eyes opening, gaze soft, and your palms floating up. Just let them float rather than pulling up, so they are following the line of the skeleton, rather than the mind trying to pull them up. And then, just allowing yourself to hinge forward, to fall into a forward fold. So the sponge is dangling, hanging under its own weight. Doesn't have to ride anywhere, just gravity is drawing it downwards, towards her. And then anchoring into our feet, your version offering the spine, but opening up along the spinal column. And then your hands will come down. Now do earth your hands before you step back, so bend your knees as much as you need to get the hands really rooting down. So you can use the hands to step back each leg, aligning in down dog. And you're lifting up into sit bones. Can you feel all 4 points of contact with that in down dog? Coming down onto all fours, and notice that transition, knees arriving, lying on flats of the feet, and starting from the belly again, you're lifting it up, curving it under your sit bones, and then sit bones floating up, and you can lengthen out through the spine. Keep your gaze soft as you move from one to the other. And softening the gaze, it just opens up the feeling body really within you, so it takes you away from looking, as it were, at things and perceiving them from the outside, and you can actually then feel them more keenly from the inside. Moving through cat and cow. And taking it back towards your heels. Body dropping down to the earth. Looking forward between your hands now, and you're starting to slide the body through. Do take your time here, it's no rush. So you feel your way onto the belly. And you just let your chin rest, so you're looking out in front of you. And so you're looking along the earth here. Slip your hands if you're feeling any pressure through the palms and hands. And feel your belly breathing in contact with the earth. It's an expansion of the belly. So you're breathing in, and then that contraction, that drawing into your core as you breathe out. It's almost like you can feel the earth beneath you, just resonating with that. So moving along your spine, belly contact, slowly lifting up into cobra. Soften your shoulders. Still keep that resonance of breath down in your belly as you lift up into cobra. And weight these up and onto all fours. And walking your hands inwards as you arrive on all fours. We'll bring up the right foot out to the right hand side. So it's more or less in alignment, the tops of the toes with the left knee. And you're lifting up. So hand coming underneath the right thigh, just to draw it up and back. Just helps to open up this line of the groin. Your left arm will lift up. Now connect from your left knee, that's your anchor point. And so then this line is just floating upwards. There's no need to pull up the left hand at all. You're just following that extension up through the body. And then you're taking that line over towards the right leg. And your hands coming back down again. Taking you back onto all fours, your right knee coming in. And then you're drawing this right knee up towards your chest. And so you're balanced now on the left knee. Do anchor down into your hands, make sure they're underneath shoulders. And you're looking down towards your right knee. Draw up into your belly. And then left knee will lift out, right knee will lift out behind you. And you'll follow that line of opening up into the chest. Feel the body balanced there. We'll do one more round, right knee coming in. And we're drawing it out behind. Keep the knee bent as you draw it out behind. And see how balanced you can feel on these 3 points, even though the body is asymmetrical here. Right knee coming down. Just move your pelvis from one side to the other here. So you arrive back onto all fours. And then your left foot's coming out to the side. Line it up with the top of the knee over to the left foot. Taking you up onto the knees. Left hand underneath the left thigh. Draw it up and back. Opening up this line through the groin. And your right arm floating up. Just soften here again. Just feel the body's weight in contact with the earth. And then we'll take the right foot hand over. Keep feeling the body in balance. Contact body to earth. Coming back round again. And hands coming back to the mat. And you're drawing in this left knee, and then you're going to pull the left knee up to your floor. Just pausing there, find your balance points. And then the knee lifting out behind you. Lift up into your chest. Take the knee back in for another round. And coming back out again. And the left knee coming down. And so you're now taking your pelvis around again, in from one side to the other. Just soften out the base of the spine. And then threading your right arm underneath the left, taking you down onto your right temple. Now find your resting point first of all. Feel that sense of weight again, transferring through the body, down to the earth. And when you're ready to, the left arm can lift up. And if it's lifting up, make sure you're not pulling it again up. Just keep letting go of the body's weight to the earth. And we're just going to drape that left arm wherever you want to, over the body. So it's reaching towards your right thigh. Just open the back of the body. Shrug out your left shoulder. And then taking your left hand back to the floor, right hand joining it. And we're going to bring weight now onto the left hand, the left knee, and right foot's coming out behind. And so it's lined up with the left knee. You're going to press down into that right foot, the heels down, the toes are down. Right hand can be on the floor if you would like, else you can bring the right hand up to the hip. Keep letting go of the weight of the body, through the hand, through the knee, through the feet, and the right arm will lift up. Breath. Keep anchoring down the body's weight. So there's no need to pull up the right arm. All you've got to find a balance. Just use the body's weight to feel stable. And your right hand's coming down. Right knee's coming in. Just a little bit of sway from side to side. And we're coming onto the other side. So your left foot's now lined up with the right foot, and you're anchoring down into that left foot. Really do use the body's weight from right hand, right knee, right foot, left hand either on the floor, or else bring it up to the hips. And your focal point is releasing the body's weight rather than worrying about this left arm lifting up. If you do feel quite stable, you could let it rise. Make sure you're not pulling it up. Keep allowing the body to relax here, to feel rooted, grounded. Have a breath. And the left hand's coming down. Coming back onto all fours, flipping your hands round to the sides, or else taking the fingers back towards you again. So either or, your version, but do keep the hands wide again. And we're coming back in, out, into cat and cow. Keep breathing fully. Holding your breath steady. Breath to breath. And then, when you're ready to, releasing out the hands again, fingers pointing forward, and toes tucking under. Lift yourself up into a down dog. And now you're going to flush your breath out through the body here, so deep breaths out through the mouth. We'll do that a couple more times. Lying down onto all fours. And now you're going to sit back towards your heels. And sitting back on the heels, please then take your knees apart from one another. And with your knees apart from one another, you can then bring the hands in front of you, or else you can flip your hands back towards you. If you do want to use your block, then you can lift up your heel of the hand onto the block, just to give yourself a little bit of height. We'll just soften the sensation of the wrists. Now, rooting down, we're going to come into lion now, so this is I really call funny faces. Start by looking up towards this third eye point, just in between your eyebrows. Keep your gaze as soft as you can, so don't feel you've got to pull your eyes back. Just drawing the focus up to there. Then breathing in, lifting up the chin, the skull. Keep that third eye point. And from here we're going to come into lion. So you'll breathe out through the mouth and really do let the tongue come out. Really release tension from the jaw and face. Breathing fully. We go for another round of breath when you're ready to. Another in-breath. I Carol. Another in-breath. Look to a Shambhavi Mudra again. Between eyebrows. Look up. Breathe in fully. And then another big out breath. And really do let the tension through your face. Another round to Shambhavi Mudra. Looking up. Breathe in fully and then an out breath. We're doing two more at your own pace. And the final one. And then, hands coming back around now to the front of the mat and tucking under your toes here. You're sitting back towards your heels. And again, we're thinking about the body's weight transferring downwards. I know with this there can be a sense of always fear because it is quite an intense sensation. So just feeling that. As you sit steady, you can bring your hands forward if you just want to soften that a little bit. And feeling the body sway. Just trusting the body is going to take this weight. The earth is going to take the weight of the body. Letting that sensation of doing so be fully experienced. Just another couple of rounds of breath. And then, hands on the mat again, releasing the feet. It's a lovely sensation when you do come out of that. And whatever version of cat and cow now, just coming into it yourself. If you want to move a bit more fully, or keep it slow, small movements. We'll take around 5 rounds of breath here. But feeling your foundations, feeling yourself really supported by the earth. A final round. And then, legs coming out to the front. So legs out to the front, And we're starting toes flexing up. Now, if you find that hard on the backs of the legs, you can just bend your knees a little bit. Likewise, you can sit yourself up on your block or your book here, so you've got that little bit of height. That will just help to tilt the pelvis forward a little bit. Now, wherever you are, though, in contact with the earth, now let go of that weight. Feel it just earthing downwards. And although that may mean that you feel the spine is slumping a little bit, the shoulders want to draw forwards a bit, doesn't matter. Still keep finding that sense of the earth is holding you. The earth has got your weight. And so then your mind doesn't have to feel it's got to pull upwards. Release. Just feeling the body as it is, as you find it now. And with yourself now grounded, rooted, we'll breathe in and our arms are just going to float up. Just holding them there, an extension of the trunk of the body. And feeling your roots beneath them, your sit bones, feet, backs of legs. Now feel your breath rising up through the body, a deep in-breath. And then you're just going to hinge and let the spine float forward. Keep your foundations really strong, stable here. And when you feel the weight of the arms, then you can just release them down. They can come to rest on the legs, on the ground either sides of you, towards the feet, wherever you want them to. Breathe in, breathe out. And feel the weight of the body, the weight of the spine suspended in this space above the legs. Keep relaxing your body's weight through the legs. Keeping the gaze soft. Taking out any pressure out of this, any sense of that expectation about what one wants the body to do, wants it to behave like. Feeling gratitude however you find it. And hands to the legs, and we're sliding the hands up towards the crease with the thighs. Breathe in, and breathing out, we'll slide the hands down the legs, towards feet, and then up again. And arriving up to the crease of the thighs, we're then going to come down and onto the spine, so knees bending again, feet together, and your arms coming out to the sides of the body. And an in-breath, just letting your knees drop over to the right, your gaze to the left. And then twisting the opposite way. You take your time to move into this so you don't feel any rush. Body arriving. And then moving on to the other side. Arriving back. And then leaving onto the other side. And leaving. Arriving on the other side. And back over. And coming back to the centre line. And there, hugging your knees in again, hands over the tops of the knees as we did earlier. And your knees away from you. Rising, leaving, knees back in. Moving out. Moving back in. Just moving from one into the other. And then when you're ready to, as we started, feet coming down, and from feet coming down, hands out to the sides, you're stretching out your legs to lie into Shavasana. And as you lie in Shavasana, feel your body's weight again, settling onto the earth. And taking time to connect to these points of contact with earth. Keep feeling body as it settles, rather than feeling that you've got to try and make this more apparent than doing it. Just noting what already is. And in this space, just being present, of letting the body be. You can know how much freedom it kind of gives you, gives the mind, which no longer has to become so bound up with trying to arrive somewhere, when already we arrive, but we are already moving on to something else. Allowing mind to feel the body, be present in it, within it, more fully. Feeling each breath, each moment. So become aware now of points of contact, body with earth. And feeling the space of the body. Feeling the flow of breath within you and around you. And how the body is moving within this space. Moving fingers, toes, the head when you're ready to, from side to side. And then from there, a deep in breath and stretching arms up over the head behind you. If you breathe out through the mouth, yawn or sigh. And then you can bring the arms back down again. And when you're ready to, then bending knees, rolling over to the right hand side. And from there, finding your way up and into a comfortable seated position. So you're arriving and sitting, your hands can just rest on the lap here. And hands in the lap, eyes shutting. And allow yourself to feel rooted again. Just feel the body's weight transferring down into the sit bones, the earth beneath you holding you. And allowing yourself to be held, to trust that you are held by the earth beneath you. And hands rising up to the heart. And your gaze soft as your eyes open again. And bowing forwards, greeting yourself, the body, the mind, heart, and greeting each other. Thank you.